Hello everyone, this is HuskyStarcraft here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm 1v1 action. This time it's going to be between the epic finale between Scarlett up in the top left side and her opponent down in the bottom right side is going to be Startail Bomber. Now, the reason I say that it's going to be an epic conclusion, and the reason that it is an epic conclusion, is because this is game number 5 from the WCS Finals. Whoever wins this game will advance to the next round, being one step closer and only a couple of steps away from winning $40,000 for first place, which is awesome. It is currently tied 2-2 between these players. Scarlett, one of the last foreigner hopes, and Bomber, having kind of a down year last year, has arisen. The Bomber has awoken. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of those World War II bombers. What were those big? Was it B-52? Is that the right one? I don't know. I'm horrible with planes. Anyways, I made a bunch of movies about them, and that was the reference I was trying to make, but it has failed. Either way, Bomber managing to tie this. Actually, I guess Scarlett's the one who tied it up, as Bomber was in the lead early on in the series. So now, one thing that I want to talk about as this game is getting underway is Scarlett loves to go for Baneling, Zergling, Mutalisk. Bomber loves to go for Marine. Oh, no you didn't. Oh my god, this is not going to be scouted by Scarlett at all. You can see the Overlord actually pathed over this, but did not see it constructing, as that is the angle the first Overlord went, and Bomber probably knows Scarlett well enough to realize when and where that scouting is going to be. Scarlett most likely will not scout this at all. Does have an early drone scout, though. This drone scout very, very early. Got to be able to spot this. Sees that there's gas already. Spots also that there is no barracks. Needs to keep that drone alive, though. Absolutely needs to keep that drone alive, and instead needs to be scouting instead of trying to harass this refinery here. Needs to be looking around. Is there going to be a barracks? Is there a proxy reaper headed my way? What exactly is in order right now? Surprised to actually see Scarlett not scout around right here. I think that this is actually a big mistake. Needs to know exactly what's going on. Is going to spot the supply depot right here as it does go down at the entrance. Keep in mind the other supply depot was behind the mineral line. Scarlett has to know that something is up, though. Is she going to have time to prepare, though? That's going to be the problem. The Reaper already going to be on the way. And I believe, is this a safe zone for the Reaper to be in? I don't know if these rocks actually block units. I think they do. This might be a safe zone for that Reaper to run towards. Keep in mind that Zerg only have melee units. They do not have range units. There's going to be a bunker on the way. The Overlord is going to be able to spot this. Drones may be pulled off the line to delay that bunker, or Lings could come out in time. But either way, we do have Lings now on the way. Drones here are going to get pulled off to try and begin harassing this Reaper. One drone will probably go down. No, turns it into an extractor. So Bomber already starting off with a bold play with this Reaper, and this other drone over here should be able sorry, I'm trying to talk too much. Should be able to survive there. Looks like the Lings are going to be out, and actually the bunker is done, surprisingly enough. Trying to intercept the Reaper there. Not going to be able to just yet. Good control. Oh, does manage to get inside the bunker. The bunker, though, is going to go down. No SCV is going to be able to save this. The Reaper's going to try. Does not get the salvage off, though. That is actually a big loss for Bomber. He was relying on getting that salvage out, but does not get those 75 minerals back. And at this point, Scarlett, now with the Queen, should be able to hold off. It's got to be tough to defend this expansion, because you can jump up and down right here over and over and over again. And I don't think that Queen's going to be able to take on those Reapers. Well, if Bomber micros them well enough, the Queen should get taken out eventually by the regeneration. But with the Lings out now, should actually be absolutely fine, especially the second Queen going to be joining in as well. We do have these Reapers going to be spawning just continual Reapers right now. There's 3 on the field. The Overlord's going to be spotting those perfectly. And I think Scarlett's probably wondering, where the hell is this barrack? And at the same time, though, the Reaper's trying to put on a little bit more damage here onto these Queens. Now, at this point, the Reapers basically act like Hellions, trying to delay creep tumors, trying to put on enough HP damage against the Queens that later on they are not that useful, because they're slowly regenerating. You do not want to use your energy for transfuse. That's absolutely a huge loss. I'm kind of curious, does the Reaper have to jump off the cliff? Oh, we actually spawned on that side. But either way, I'm wondering if that's actually a safe zone or not. I've never tested that. But either way, Bomber with lots of Reapers in the game. It's actually, I mean, this is a legit build that he's pulling off right now. Is he going to go for the creep tumor there? He could have been able to. Does force the transfuse there. That's going to be a couple of less creep tumors there. Keep in mind, transfusion costs 50, whereas creep tumor does cost 25, and you would definitely want to have creep tumors against someone like Bomber. We've seen Scarlett be able to do her creep spread absolutely phenomenally throughout these games. It does look like Metabolic Boost is not quite done yet. One Queen here is enough to push these back for now, but the Lings with no creep spread, these bases are not connected. The Queen's now off the creep, which means that this Queen over here is going to be completely susceptible, but that means the drones are more susceptible. The Reaper's going to continue to harass here. Does manage to kill off 2 drones with about 3 or 4 volleys there from those Reapers. The Barracks is going to go ahead and lift off. So I would say Bomber, having already set the pace of this game, is able to do whatever it is he wants. Right now, he's going to already establish his expansion. He already has his tech on the way. Starport nearly done. Barracks going to be coming on up. But did Scarlett lose too much in that battle? I don't know that she did. Workers killed overall is 3. And resources lost, not that big of a loss there. So I don't think losing, 3 or 4 drones in this type of engagement is that big of a deal. Although Scarlett is going to need a spine crawler here pretty soon. There could be a terrifying one-base push coming right on up. The Queens are enough to hold it off for now, but for how long? Really, this harassment style that Bomber is showcasing here is just to get in and get out, because your Reaper's going to be regenerating the HP. Your Hellions can slowly deal damage, and yes, Zerg does regenerate HP, but not at the rate that you're going to be harassing. That's kind of the idea on the build. However, we do have a Banshee on the way with Cloak and Stem for the Marines. Going to be coming on up here. So, honestly, Scarlett's very wise to go for a Spine Crawler here, but I don't know if she's going to have enough to be able to hold this off. I don't think she's scouted in quite some time. She has not seen everything that's going on right here. She needs to know what is up with that. However, she does spot this, albeit barely with the Overlord there. Does Bomber know that he is spotted? He should. He should know that. And he knows that this kind of attack is not going to be a surprise, but that doesn't mean that it's still not going to do a lot of damage. Her big scan right there to push back these creep tumors. So frustrating for Scarlett to deal with. Cannot afford to lose anything in this situation. Scarlett playing it a little bit risky right now, going for more and more drones instead of trying to gear up for this 2-base attack that's coming. But at the same time, Bomber, having already established a 3rd base, is not even all in by any means. This is actually a perfect execution of this playstyle by Bomber, not overcommitting, not putting too much of his cards on the table all at once, and instead just taking a little bit of risk here and there, but really making it pay off. And the Banshee has now arrived. Now the question is, does the Banshee harass, or does it go to try and break the entrance? Right now it looks like it might go for the entrance here. It could go either way though, as the Banshee is currently just kind of hanging out. I think this Overlord can spot this. I wonder if Bomber is doing this to honestly show Scarlett exactly what he has here. Try and make her react with Spore Crawlers. Try and make her react with Spine Crawlers, using Transfuses. Basically just showing, hey, I got a lot of cards, a lot of attacking units, without actually revealing that he's expanding on the back of it. I wonder if that's his plan. Either way, it's been working. The Banshee now is going to be getting lots of kills here. No Overseer inside it, just now spawns. The Queens might be able to scare it away. I think she actually attacked her own Queen there or something. But either way, the Banshee is going to survive, which means that it is an imminent threat, can always come back and attack a little bit later. It does look like the harassment going to continue up here. Not really anything up here, though, and I don't know that scanning it to kill off those creatures is worth it. However, these Lings up here are going to be able to trap this entire army. Can she get the big surround? Can she kill it off? That army trying to get behind the middle line. No, a couple of Zorg's going to completely block it off. It does look like Sean's going to be able to clean up every single unit right here, and all of a sudden, this game is heavily underway now. Resources lost going to be about the same. However, Scarlett just now getting her 3rd base. Bomber on the back of this. Look at that 3rd base, almost, I would say, fully saturated, given the time of the game that he was able to get that expansion up so early. Although will force a liftoff right here, I believe. Although a big stem on these Marines, they are going to be able to protect this. So no, Bomber is not going to lose that. Instead, we'll run those Lings into the meat grinder. Bomber, all of a sudden, he lost his army, but just returned the favor by killing that one off. Much easier, by the way, than Scarlett was able to do earlier against Bomber. So I think at this point, Bomber is definitely in the lead. No, I guess his 3rd base here was canceled. The Banshee's continuing to float around and harass at this point. So Scarlett currently crumbling under this pressure and this playstyle from Bomber. I almost feel like Bomber was saving this playstyle in case he needed to pull it out a little bit later, saving this very, I would say interesting playstyle here, where he's being early on aggression, followed up by a lot of macro without being too all in on either front. There's going to be a big scan right there. That's actually a perfect scan, because that's going to show you as many creep tumors as possible. Sometimes you'll see players scan like right here, but really you want to scan to see as much of those creep tumors as possible. He did just that. Scarlett, though, is going to be going for Muta, Baneling, Zergling once again. I don't know if this is actually the right choice given the circumstances, because she's already behind on the expansions. Her macro's not looking great, and the macro of Bomber is looking great. And that's the problem with Zergling, Baneling, Muta versus Terran, is that if your opponent's macro is good, it is so difficult to get those big Baneling hits that you want, because there's just such a non-stop flood of units. All it takes is one good Widowmine. All it takes is one good Marine split to be able to deal with your already disadvantaged opponent. It does look like this Banshee will go down. However, this is dragging the Mutas way out of position. Oh no, Scarlett actually lost track of it. That Banshee is still alive, as Bomber right now going to be going for this base over here. Bomber kills this off. That is going to be it for Scarlett. I think she will be able to save it for now. But again, look at these splits here. These Banelings can find no good connections. And even though Scarlett cleans that up, it's not as cost effective as she would like. The Banshee's still hanging out over here. A medevac drop going to be moving out to the north. And if Scarlett cannot defend this aggression effectively right now, it is going to be a snowball effect. I mean, this is exactly what Bomber's playstyle is. Get the early 3 bases, start the aggression early, and do not relent, and never let the Zerg out of their base. We'll see if Scarlett is able to mount an offensive in a little bit, but for now there's going to be a drop inside the main base. This one is 2 Widow Mines inside, and that could be a lot of dead drones if this is executed correctly. Although the Widow Mines are going to pro. Goodbye, Zerglings, that is for sure. Big hits there. Medevac almost gets taken out. The other Widow Mine is detonating as well. Not massive kills. Actually, 7 kills there. Not bad at all. It does like a couple links right here. 2 kills takes it down. Hopefully those Banelings do not detonate there. Ah, it did. That was a waste of a Baneling for sure. But either way, Scarlett is honestly just crumbling here. She's been unable to stop the harassment, unable to stop the drops, unable to get any sort of map presence. Somehow her creep spread is still phenomenal, some of the best in the business. Unfortunately, creep spread is not going to be enough right here when Bomber can consistently move out, scan, and push it further and further back. Sure, it buys Scarlett time, but it hasn't bought her an extra base. It hasn't bought her any counterattack potential. So really, it's not buying her a whole lot. So we'll see, though, if she can continue forward and try and get up more bases. She needs 4 bases. I don't know if she can do it, though. We'll just have to wait and see. As Bomber getting out into a pretty good position here. This is basically kind of a light contain. It's going to prevent Scarlett from expanding down there. It's going to prevent Scarlett from even moving out. And at the same time, she may try and fight up this ramp here. Not normally a good idea versus Terran into a choke point, but we'll see if she can pull it off. Some pretty big Baneling hits right there. And actually a far spread battle right there as Scarlett is able to clean that up for now. But this is what we're talking about. The 3-base macro of Terran is actually a little bit out of control as Bomber has just already got another army in position. And you know, as Zerg, you can almost feel helpless at this point just because you're not able to get your bases up, you're unable to defend, and really unable to do a whole lot as Bomber is just going to start the aggression early and never, ever relent. And honestly, Terran players out there, this is kind of the play style that a lot of Terrans have been using lately versus Zerg to pretty good effect. So really, if you want to play like Bomber, all you have to do is have 270 APM, sometimes peaking around 400, and be able to beat players like Scarlett, no problem. It doesn't like Banshee gets taken out here, but at this point, Banshee's already served its purpose. It doesn't really do anything else. Just look at the splits here. It's almost like watching an awesome painter paint a masterpiece, as he has laid out his units how he wants. Even if he loses these, it's already been cost-effective. He's going to continue to micro further and further back. Lays the Widow Mines do the majority of the damage, and sure, Scarlett's going to clean this up. Medevac's going to survive, though, and not a whole lot left for Scarlett. This is exactly how you have to play Terran. You have to sacrifice units. You can't sit back for too long, and if you're getting close to max out, it's time to amp up the aggression. And Bomber now could go for a 4th base. If he gets his 4th base up, then the aggression's got to continue as planned, as it does look like the Baneling trying to roll in there. Once again, the splits are so good that those Baneling hits not nearly enough to clean it up one-sidedly. It does look like Tamita's going to go straight for the medevac. Wants to chase these down. Scarlett needs to kill off every single one of these medevacs. Will only get half of them, it looks like, as the Marines are going to reinforce. And Scarlett, you don't want to go over there, that's for sure. She is going to go ahead and back out. Does have her own 4th base on the way, but the thing you got to remember right now is that, sure, Bomber's aggression has slowed down a little bit, but that's because his main base is almost mined out. His natural still has quite a bit of money. His 3rd base obviously has a lot of money, so if he gets up this 4th base, oh god, the attacking is continuing over here. Scarlett just now able to kill off these rocks. Would love to collapse these towers on these Marines if possible. That was a nice Baneling hit, but there was no backup Banelings, and all of a sudden, Scarlett's kind of trapped in her own base right now, which is not ideal. Just Link with no Baneling backup until that last hit. That's going to buy her some time. Widow Mine hit there, though, going to soften up those units, making them extremely squishy. More Banelings rolling through. Could manually detonate on these if she wants to, and does decide to go ahead and do that, at least with just one of them. But Bomber has this expansion up now, and this is where I think Scarlett starts to fall further and further behind. If she cannot secure this expansion plus another expansion, then she's already behind. And unless she's able to do some sort of drop at this base, unless she's able to stop these reinforcements, this is exactly what Bomber wants. Is it's kind of like just vice grips, man, just slowly clamping down harder and harder and harder and not letting go. And once again, you see Scarlett just never able to get the massive amount of units that she needs. Sure, she can kill this army, but look at the reinforcements just streaming across the map, literally nonstop. The rocks do go down, but guess what? So did all the Mulas, and there's going to be the GG. Bomber with that takes it in an explosive fashion. He is going to be advancing to the next round, getting closer and closer to the final. Scarlett unable to clinch that last game, unable to go further than any foreigner in this tournament. I guess Technically, she is one of the ones that still went the furthest, but either way, Bomber showing us that he is in top form right now. Can he actually make it to the finals? Well, we'll find out, as these WCS games are pretty damn awesome. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.